Hello and welcome back to the Cove with a new video. We're not doing a series at this moment. We're going to be going through a couple of demos just to see how well they do and to see your thoughts and to see, well, if it is something that I want to return to in the future, because my gaming life is mostly recording these days, so I've got to take the times when we can try out some new stuff. So that's what we're going to do between now and the next little series. It'll probably be about a week or so, and we'll try out a few different games. So one of the ones I have been testing of late is Mech Havoc, the destructive demo. So as the game says, it is indeed a demo, and things are probably subject to change, but I'm looking forward to whatever we can try out. So this is a mech game of sorts. There are technically, there's technicals, there's also some trucks, hover vehicles, all sorts of things that might make a little bit of destruction. We've also got access to strategic bonuses, I guess. We can call in some HMG emplacements, precision mortars, all sorts of things that make the enemy a little bit more useful, a little bit more manageable, I should say. So, we've just unlocked a brand new heavy mech, which I'm thinking would be a little bit of fun, so we're going to go ahead and use that today. As for everything else, we could try, let's just go ahead and upgrade, unlock a shotgun for the things. That should be fairly good. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into the Outskirts campaign today. The first one here was the Canyons. It's a nice little multi-mission sequence, and at the moment we're at 3. I don't know if there's any more, but we'll go ahead and try that out. So this is in an industrial estate in the forest factory. Our main objective is to collect materials, a couple of bonus objectives for destroying ships, cargo, and radar, and of course that does pay us with lots of salvage as our mission reward, which would be rather nice. All those things helping us unlock things through the tech tree. So let's go ahead and try that today. And here we go. Look at that, our heavy mech. That is what I'm looking for. So what do we want to equip with things today? I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're maybe going to go ahead and put on, let's see, maybe an RPG as well as let's go maybe the Gauss rifle, so we'll have some pretty heavy hitting things. And then over here, let's try out, let's double up on these L focus lasers. Basically they're kind of a well, you can see their details here in their properties. They start with a little bit of a spread and they work down to 0.25 degrees from our point of aim. So nice and accurate. Magazine size is fairly large. The reload time is slow, but that's one of those things. And we'll try and make it work. In fact, you know what? Maybe instead of the Gauss rifle here, maybe we throw in a HMG instead. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with an HMG. That should be a good thing, so we can at least have some firewall things reload. Alright, so I'm sure not all of that made sense, but it will be fine. You can get other vehicles, as I said, but they're yet to be unlocked. But we're going to go ahead and dive on in and see how things go today. We're going to see just what kind of damage we can do. Alright, so, alrighty then, recruit, let's get that bag. Alright, thank you, Officer Brax. We have resources that we need to collect, and we'll make use of that. So, this is our TAC map. As you can see, we are the little, what do we call it? We'll go with the green, turquoisey color. That's us. We've got our materials to collect, we have things to destroy, and you can see where we're at. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is well, we're going to see what we can find. So we do have a couple of different weapon set. We can switch them around, changing from our RPG and HMG through to our focusing lasers. And yeah, we can reload those at any time. Down on the bottom left hand side you can see our support abilities: precision mortars, static machine guns, static heavy machine guns, and of course our objectives. Our health is 570, which is nice, and yeah, well, I guess we'll see how we go from here. So let's zoom on out, and looks like Hang on a second. Oh, we're on the lasers. Right. Okay. So as you can hear, as we hold down the trigger, you can see our aim getting progressively more accurate. And then, yeah, if we switch around, that will be our other weapons. But either way, I see things that need to be destroyed, so let's go ahead and start working on those. We'll deal with them at distance if possible. And yeah, we'll break that up. In fact, oh, that wasn't quite what I planned on doing, but yeah, sure, we'll fire a mortar at that and start to put some work there. These things take a while to reload, so we'll quickly switch over. We've got an RPG, heavy machine gun, lots of things to make our life a little bit better. Alright, let's go ahead and quickly go ahead and see about maybe swapping our weapons, since they do reload in the background. Let's see if we can deal with that big mech there. It's got a lot of protection, but we'll do what we can. Alright, looks like we've done everything we can. We'll go ahead and fire those. Let's collect resources. Let's see if we can take this down. Oh, alright, he's not looking too good, and there we go. Alright, we can break him up. Alright, you know what we need? We need our lasers. There we go. Those things are fantastic. We also collect salvage through destroying all sorts of things, so this is very much a, well, weapons-free sort of playthrough. Depending, you can break through different bits and pieces with the weapons that you have. Right now, I'm not sure if we have... You know what? Let's see. Does an RPG blow up part of the wall? It technically... Yes, it does. Alright, so what you can do, you can be a little bit cheeky from time to time and, you know, make things a little bit more accessible. You can break through their defenses. Not that they appreciate you when you do that, but it is a thing you can do, and you can even fit your mech through if you destroy enough of things. Everything is destructible, as I said, so it does pan out pretty nicely. Even things like these. We've got gas canisters, which... There we go. Nice big booms causing lots of destruction. Yeah, that's that sort of thing. So, let's go ahead and destroy all of this stuff. Again, all of this salvage does give us extra meta progression, which is always quite nice. You can see our turrets still working in against the new enemies making their way up. Alright, there we go. Let's dodge all of this. And, oh, that's right. We also have generators as well. Some of these things can be linked to things like turrets and all sorts. So it's never a bad thing to destroy them. It just makes the enemies that we're up against that little bit weaker. Alright, you know, let's turn back to our lasers. These things shred really, really nicely. The sustained fire just really, really helps. So let's go ahead and leave that there. Let's head back to the... I guess we'll head down the main road. We do need to be careful. We might find ourselves in a little bit of trouble. Again, we've got lots of health for now. Oop. But just because we have it now doesn't mean we will later on. There is no healing in any of these missions, so whatever damage is taken, it better be an acceptable amount that you're willing to live with for the rest. Otherwise, well, you just might not get to live. That is one of those issues. Alright, so what have we got here? We've got some infantry moving on up. We'll try and deal with these guys at distance. In fact, you know what? I think the lasers are going to be what we need here. There we go. Supreme fire support right there. You do see the convergence as well, so you can... yeah, maximal accuracy, and then of course losing out at a certain point. Oh dear. Okay, let's just quickly go ahead and we'll fire that mortar there, see if we can break them up. Oh, you know what we could also do? We could maybe go ahead and drop in some extra support for us there. That would do very nicely. I'm finding that I'm liking a little bit more of a less directly engaged kind of position with the enemies. I find that works pretty well for me, but I'm sure there's lots of different play styles that can suit all sorts of things. Alright, so let's quickly go ahead and shred all of these guys. Do we care about those last little resources? Probably not. It's not the be-all and end-all, but we do need to make our way into the main facility here. and then maybe even spread our way out. In fact, you know what? Looks like they got a bit of a defense here. Let's go ahead and back on up for a little bit. Fire off that RPG, see if we can take out a whole bunch of those little units. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, good work there. We'll see if we can cause a little bit of destruction. Maybe we can blow up some of these generators and cause them quite a little bit of trouble. Alright, let's see if we can quickly destroy this thing too before it destroys our turrets. That would be less ideal, them being destroyed. But you know what? That might actually be okay. You know what? That's fine. We're going to leave them be for a second. We're going to go ahead and destroy all this stuff instead. All of our stratagems, well, not that I think that they're called that, but our stratagems are on have a decent cooldown. I think they're about 1.5 minutes to maybe 2 minutes, depending on what you have. So it's always good to be careful of what's around. Alright, you know, let's get out of here and not deal with him right now. He's a little bit of a pain. Let's destroy all of this gear here. That is something that we do need to destroy. So we'll start putting some work on that. Let's collect these guys and... Okay, let's just hold off our machine gun for a second. If we can hit that soft spot, these things can go down fairly well. But of course, that is the trick, threading the needle. It can be easier said than done. Alright, so we're about half health. We've made out most of our way through our objectives. I think what we're going to do is we'll head off to this side and then maybe see about rotating around. There is an extract position, an extract point at somewhere in the once we've dealt with our troubles. But again, we don't necessarily know where that's going to be until afterwards. Alright, you know what? Let's quickly call on in some stuff. Let's back up. Ooh. Alright, looks like these guys are pretty heavily defended here. Let's quickly get all of that stuff reloading. Let's see if we can cause a little bit of... yeah, if we can outflank some of these enemies that are trying to take out our assistants. Would really rather not having to deal with it if unnecessary. Alright, so there we go. That is our main objective done and dusted. We could probably go ahead and... You know what? We can probably leave this thing. It's going to be occupied for a little bit. We do have a few more things that we can destroy if we so desire. Can we fit through here? I'm thinking maybe not. No, we're just a little bit too big. Okay. But that said, hang on a second. Line of sight is pretty good. There we go. Rocket launcher all the way through. Alright, health is in critical condition. That is not ideal, but sometimes that's just the way things go. Let's destroy them, and let's quickly hit this last cargo. Can we destroy that? There we are. That should be all that we need. Oh, and the evac is right near us. Alright, hang on a second. I think we could possibly get our final objective back over there. It's another radar dish, it seems. Oh, let's try and avoid those shots if possible. Yeah, if we had been able to keep our precision mortar, maybe we could have pinged it from a much further distance. But for now, we'll just have to go ahead and go with what we've got. Alright, there we go. Let's take some cover behind here. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and drop that static machine gun turret up over there. With any luck... Yeah, there we go. Let's distract this guy. Let's also switch over our weapons. It does look like we have attracted a little bit of attention. But we can put some damage on from distance there. There we go, very nicely. And we are right near our evac. So that's a pretty successful mission right there. That's not too shabby. So let's go ahead and let's get on out of that. So, successful extraction. We get salvage for main objectives, optional objectives, and bonuses for extracting. We also get points for, destroying all of those enemies, and overall destruction yeah, that also helps us out. So we can watch a replay and all. I don't think we're going to bother. We're going to go ahead and sorry, we could replay the mission. We're going to return to base. That should be fine. So let's head back to our tech tree and see what kind of goodies we can find here. So what do we want? I'm thinking it wouldn't be bad to maybe get an extra one of those strategic bonuses. We'll go ahead and let's see. Explosive 100, radius is 6. It's not too bad. Rearm time 90 seconds. Very solid radius, 8 shots. You know what? I think we'll take that. And then what else have we got available? We've got ourselves an anti-material rifle. Ooh, okay, so does kinetic damage this thing. Obviously lasers do energy, that sort of thing, and of course RPGs are explosive, would you believe it? But either way, we're going to go ahead and this shows us what kind of mounts we can attach these weapons to. Ballistic and portable. Not all mechs or vehicles have the same kind of mounting points, so sometimes you got to make some decisions. I think what we'll go for is well, I do see an AC-20. That does seem rather good to me. Do we go for that, or do we maybe pick up a plasma weapon? Ooh, that's a new option. You know what? I like the RPG, but we're going to go ahead and upgrade that a little bit further. And then, you know what? I think we'll just save the remainder. Might see about a plasma weapon for another one. So either way, that was the last one of our outskirts campaign. Let's go ahead and head to the open dunes. So we have the Sandy Sabotage and the Dune Getaway. So what do we have and what do we want to... This is just a simple destroy a machine and destroy cargo. Seems fairly good. And then this one's a little bit more intensive. Let's start with the Sandy, this one, and that will work fine. So as you can see, we can swap out our weapons. Let's go for the new rocket pods. I think that seems fun. And then do we want to keep 2 laser focuses, or do we want to maybe go with the heavier hitting? I'm thinking what we might try out a Gauss rifle. There we go. So that should be a pretty decent combination there. Some rapid fire, heavy hitting Gauss, rocket pods, as well as an HMG. I think that seems pretty good. Oh, and our support slots, we do have a 4th one now. We now have ourselves the Mortar Strike. So let's see, 1 and 4. I think that's not too bad, but I think we might switch those out just to make that a little bit easier. We'll go with the precision shots on 1 and 2 and the turrets on 3 and 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and launch the mission and see how this plays out. Alright, so let's have a look. Where are we? We are down the bottom of the map. I think we swing around, destroy some cargo, and then head for the main party and destroy that too. So let's zoom on out and get a move on. So, looks like they haven't seen us just yet. They have some... You know what? Oh, wait a second. There we go. Let's go ahead and start with some mortar striking. There we go, and that's our Gauss rifle firing off there. Nice and scary right there. Alright, let's also drop a turret behind them just to be on the safe side. I think the further we engage these guys from, the better. Means we are less likely... Oh, hang on a second, let's reload that Gauss. Yeah, we're less likely to have some trouble to deal with. Alright, so as you can see there, that Gauss with that hyper-velocity slug does absolutely shred through things. Oh! Okay, so that's an ammunition box. I don't think I'd actually paid attention to that before, but it looks like we can cause an almighty amount of havoc if we desire. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of that hover tank there. Those things I can find to be quite irritating. Okay, and we have these little walking mines. They'll love to chase us down and cause us trouble. Yeah, obviously the sooner you deal with them, the better. Always the way to go about it. Alright. Looks like we're back with a precision mortar. I don't think we'll worry too much right now. Oh, actually, can we line you guys up? Not exactly, but it's pretty close. Oh. Alright, let's see what we can do. Oh, looks like we're doing some damage. Oh, that's right. And I forgot to mention, on the top right of our screen, there is actual component damage that we are doing. I'm not sure if that necessarily does too much at this stage, but I'm sure it'll be useful in the future, maybe towards the full release. I'm not entirely certain. Alright, let's go ahead and quickly keep on applying some pressure to some of these guys whilst dodging their fire. In fact, you know what? Let's quickly switch over our weapons. Alright, that rocket pod does pretty good, it seems. Yeah, okay, you know what? Maybe we give this a little bit of a go. Let's take out those walking ones there. Alright, maybe let that machine gun relax for a little bit. Alright, hang on a second. We need to focus. Come on now. Let's get rid of you. Eventually, I'm sure they've got to run out of allies. You know what? There we go. Let's get some extra turrets into play. That's what we need. That'll deal with a few of our problems a little bit easier on our end. Alright, let's keep on destroying things. Where are we? We're over here. Okay, let's go ahead and make things go boom. Oh, that's right. We've still got that rocket pod. Let's get that Gauss up and firing. Alright, let's cover this other flank here while it deals with everything over there. I feel like, yeah, this should be fun. Oh. Alright, let's put some fire in here. You know what? There we go. That should do for a bit. You know what? So even though this thing's behind a wall, can we just hit that with our, yeah, our Gauss can actually make a hole in the wall, which is very, very nice. I'm pretty sure it will do a little bit less damage as it goes through things, but, you know, it's still handy nonetheless. Still handy. Alright, you know, I think we'll leave those guys there for a second. Let's go ahead and blow up the gas. Oh, actually, you know what? That looks like a new door for me. There we go. We'll pop that open. We'll go with a mortar strike. That should be fairly effective at destroying some things for now. There we go. And it looks like most of the enemies out of the way for now. Let's just go ahead and see what we can get to destroying. We should probably have moved across. Yeah, obviously things in the left arm and the right arm do have slightly different trajectories, and so can hit different armor and whatnot as, well, things change around. But, oh, looks like I've left my guns not very well reloaded. That is a... Come on. Oh, and we hit them very nice. Alright, fantastic. Let's go ahead and let's just finish off the last a little bit here. Come on, can we get this last? Oops. Let's just avoid you for a second. We were chewing through that wall. But we can make it work. Alright, and you know what? There we go. Let's get those turrets up and running. Yeah, I really cannot be bothered at the moment, and it looks like I missed with the rocket. That is very much not what I was hoping for. There we are. Alright. Let's go ahead and quickly deal with this guy. Our armor is getting a little bit beaten. Where do we need to head to? Oh, to the very top, except we have missed cargo. Oh, hang on a second. Let's see if we can backtrack our way down there. I feel like I may have kicked the hornet's nest. Yeah, health is critical. You know what? Forget it. We're going to use our mortar. Let's see if we can get on out of here. We kind of want to keep on surviving. Alright, everything else is going well. There's our extract, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, our lasers should do some good damage against them. Let's just make sure that we snipe them off as we try to get out of here. And that should be all good. Alright. Mission successful. So there we go. More destruction, more fun, and some more salvage, which is obviously the little, well, I guess the basically the setup for the game. That's the, what do we call it? It's the cycle of the game, nonetheless. So as you can see here, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot under construction. As you can see here, there's like plasma cutters. There is some kinds of plasma swing shots, howitzers. What's that? Some kind of crabby mech. I do like the look of that. And yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. So that is sorry. That is the game, which I am very much enjoying, and yeah, if you'd like to see a full series on this, I am very curious, as it is something that definitely scratches that itch of mechage and destruction, whatnot. Maybe I'll do another video and we'll try out some other vehicles, but that is for another day. So if you did enjoy this, or any of the other content, do remember to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.